So the second part of our reinforcement demonstration involves pieces of glass that are held in by only one line. I know this stem has a little sideline there, but especially imagine that this pattern only went to here and this was holding on by just one line. We might be concerned that it could wibble, wobble, and pull free. You generally don't want to attach anything by just one outer line, especially a straight line. A straight line forms a hinge, and things can bend back and forth and eventually come out, or very easily come out. So, what can we do? If the design doesn't allow us to create an extra line or an extra support point, we can reinforce it by hiding some tinned wire along the outer edge within what we would do for the tinned edge at the end of our project. So before tinning an edge in any sense or hiding wire, we need to have both sides silvered, which is easy enough, just a little bit of flux, a little bit of paint. We're not trying to make a thick layer, we're just trying to tin it to turn it silver so that it'll be easier to work with. Solder will stick to copper, but what it likes best, of course, is itself. So, there we go. Now, normally tinning an edge, you probably know what you do is you go ahead and flux the outer edge, and we give ourselves a little bit of solder on a tail to work with because we're not going to have both hands. We get some on the tip, and we dab, dab, dab on the outer edge to cover it up and give a nice thick layer and a nice finished edge. Now, when we want to reinforce that, we need to wrap the edge of it as well as some to either side to basically give this structure something to hold on to. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give myself a nice length of wire. I probably got more than I need, but that's fine. It's easier to work with this way. This is 20 gauge. It's a little thinner because if you use thick wire, it's going to poke through or show through the outer edge. If you are concerned about the support a lot and you want to use thicker wire, you can, but know it's going to be visible as a bulge under your solder. So, first thing to do is go ahead and get it started somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and bend this so it can fit within this sharp corner here. And I'm going to hold it in place. I recommend that you at home wear gloves. Again, the heat conducts really quickly. If you're really, really stubborn and dumb like me, you can do it like this and you will probably burn your fingers. Yep, like that. A little bit of heat transferred that quick just from a dab. So, next thing to do is anything you can use really, just be gentle. We're going to push it into that corner and we're going to tack it in place along a few places. We want it centered along the outer edge, and you should always flux it. Anything you're soldering, you should flux. And we do a little dab, and we're embedding it into that solder edge. And then I'm going to turn it. Always keep your stuff turned so gravity is your friend and not your enemy, balancing your outer edge perpendicular, parallel to the ground. There we go. Don't know if you can see that, but that's the kind of result we want. It is embedded within the solder, and from the side you can't really notice it's there. We don't want this to be super noticeable. So I'm going to do a little bit more because I'm going to bend it around that corner. And what you would do is you go ahead and work it around the corner. We're going to flux it up here because I need to tack it in place so I can work at it and make it pretty without burning my hands. Yep, there's the heat again. You're holding a red hot wire very quickly. And so, yeah. Gloves, gloves, gloves. Don't be a Jessie, at least in this case. Other ways, it's fantastic to be a Jessie. But use more common sense. Do as I say, not as I do. Unless, you're just into burning fingers. Okay, got it around the corner. Tack it again. It's being held. Go ahead and we are going to use anything really. We just need something that's going to help push it down into the corner, make it as flat to the edge as we can so that it hides. Obviously, if the wire is poking up at an angle, it's not going to get buried in the solder very well. So there we go. Tack here. Okay, I have now rounded my last corner, so I'm going to go ahead and try to push this down into the corner as much as I possibly can. It's gonna may or may not want to bend, but don't push too hard or you'll slam right into your glass. And the last thing you want to do when you're in the final stages of your project is crack something. So I've figured out what length I need, and I'm going to snip it right here. And I need to go a little bit along the other side. And I'm going to go ahead and tack this last piece. Okay. Now what you'll do, since you've got all that done, is just make sure everything is fluxed, the whole length of it, both the underneath and the wire. And you're just going to keep adding solder until it's well hidden within your tinned, beautiful, shiny tinned edge. I'm not going to make it perfect within this video because I don't want everyone to sit here for another 10-minute video on whatever platform you're watching from. But basically, you're going to take what it looks like right here and go the whole way around. Can you see? I hope you can see. I can't see what you see. But see how it's perfectly smooth, it's hidden, you couldn't tell there's wire in there. But now, because there's wire all the way around, it's going to help prevent it from being pulled left and right or out of joint. So that's it for reinforcement. Either wait a few seconds if you're in the long video, or check out the next short video.